Hey there, Coach Devin here. It is my birthday. It's 1:30 in the afternoon, and as you can see, I'm a little sweaty. Tell you why coming up. Before we get going, please click the like and subscribe down below. Please share this with your friends. I try to make these videos because I've been in the fitness industry for 27 years. Since I was 20 years old. I am 47 now, and I hope that some of the things I do can help some other people out there with their ideas and some motivation, or just learn not to screw the stuff that I did. All right, so some interesting thoughts today while I'm on the treadmill and working out. All right, number one, goals are interesting. They're a thing that you go after all the time, and you grind at, and you think they're super important. And I'll tell you, January of last year, right around my birthday, I decided, you know what, I will have the biggest year ever for my business. And you know, I had it all mapped out exactly what I wanted to make, and I went to 10 in January and February. We had 2 huge months, and I was pumped. I'm like, man, I'm on track with this. I also was burning out. I was tired. I was worn down, and I didn't feel good, very much. I mean, I had 3 locations. There's a ton of work involved, a lot of staff, and I tell you, I didn't feel amazing. I just felt worn out. That's the best way to put it. I was worn out. My only other goal for 2020 was, well, I had 3 goals really. Biggest year of my business, get married to my beautiful fiance, and be able to do the splits. Well, I only hit on one of those, and I think you can probably guess which one. I did not have the biggest year for my business, specifically because COVID came along. But you know what? I can live with that. Number 2, I did get to marry my fiance, not the way we had originally planned it, but you know what? It went really well, and we were super happy with it. And number 3, I still can't do the splits. As you can see, get my knee down. I can get down there pretty low, but I'm not there. And that, you know what? And those are things you can look at and go, okay, I'm frustrated. I didn't really hit on it. I only got one of them. I mean, I got the most important one, obviously, but I didn't hit. You know, that I'm really hitting 33% of my goals. Whew. Losing earbuds, I'm so sweaty. And, you know, for most people, that would be considered a loss. And you know what? Probably up until last year, I would have considered it a loss too, but I've had a real change of opinion on a lot of things in my life in the last year. And I know a lot of people have had this. A lot of people feel different about where they are and what they're doing, but I feel different about my life, and I feel like I'm a better person now, and I have less stress. So I'm gonna back it up here for quick and explain my thought processes. So number 1, that is an interesting thought. I always thought I was a pretty good partner. I thought, you know what, I'm a good partner. I'm on board, I'm nice, I'm, interested in what my fiance has to say. I care about what she says, I care about her feelings. I think I'm a good partner. And it wasn't until July that she got me to read this book called The 5 Languages of Love that I realized maybe I wasn't that good of a partner. And boy, it was an eye-opener. It made me sit back and go, wait a sec, the heck is the point of this thing? I'm not doing my best work. And you know what? Since I've read that book, I reestablished what I think is important in my life. And we have a much better relationship. And our relationship wasn't bad in the first place, but some of the things that were going on were, I just wasn't doing a good job. And you know what? There's room for improvement on everything. And I'm the first one, I love a good improvement story, but you know what? That was one of those moments where I thought I was right a lot of the time. It turns out a lot of the time I was wrong. Second thing that I find interesting is, you know what? I realized that my business blowing up and making millions of dollars, the stress that went with it, it just wasn't fun. It really wasn't a fun experience. I mean, it was a lot of work, a lot of grinding, and you know what? I'm enjoying work a lot more now with fewer staff, down to 1 location because one of them got closed with COVID, somebody else left. Work feels better. I enjoy it more. I feel like I have the pulse of the whole thing better. Is that good? Yeah, I think it's actually a good thing for me. And number 3, when it comes to my physical health, and that's the thing that I think really amazes me the most, I got very sick in April. So we have a shutdown in March, a couple weeks in. My back gets sore. I end up with 2 weeks in bed thinking I had back spasms. Turned out not back spasms. Turns out I'm actually dying. I have a blood infection. It gets in my spine. I'm in the hospital. I mean, it's flat on my back for 2.5 weeks, in the hospital for a week. You know, came very close to dying. When I went in there, the emergency room doctor, the third time I went to the hospital, said to me, did anybody talk to you about this blood infection? I said, no, they haven't. Actually, I said it like this, no, they haven't. Because I was in so much pain that I couldn't really do a lot of things. And he said, look, if you go home, you'll die. That's the bottom line. You will die if you go home. And that was a wake-up call. And I felt terrible, and it sucked. But you know what? It was a wake-up that I think probably was good. I'd never taken, you know, I ended up taking a full two months off exercise, completely, a little over 2 months. And, you know, I had a PICC line in my arm. I had antibiotics for 18 weeks. I'm happy that I came back. But you know what? My intense focus about always having to re-up and grind harder and do more, that changed a little bit. I felt like my overall health was important, and I wanted to take care of myself. I care a little bit more about, you know, not pushing the envelope as hard as I was doing before. So that's, you know, to me, that's a win. So I learned through sickness that, hey, guess what? Things can be better. Look, the one thing that I've noticed now, when I have a different opinion on, fitness is about feeling good. It's about your mental health hugely. I mean, really, and I've always felt this, but it's about, you know what, you change how you feel. Change your food, you change your exercise level, and you feel better in general. And I'll tell you, when you lose that, like I did, I wasn't able to do a bunch of things that I normally would do. It sucked. It was no fun. And I learned in that, you know what, that part of my life, the exercise portion of my life, I always knew it was important, but I never didn't have it. Now I have it again, and that feels really good. Am I ever going to be the way I was before? Maybe not. My back still isn't perfect, but you know what? It's close. And that's what's important. That's the thing that really matters. At the end of the day, what I want people to get from this video is to understand that, you know what? Sometimes bad things happen to you, and it's that silver lining, right? Dark clouds have silver linings, and that is sickness for me, taught me to respect my body more and not to hammer down and beat myself up in workouts as much as I have in the past. I feel better. I feel like I'm pretty darn fit. I came back from it. I feel good. COVID taught me, you know what? I don't need more and more and more and more staff. I need to be happy in my job and have a successful business that can handle a shutdown, like we've had two. The business can handle that shutdown. Doesn't go under like a lot of businesses have done. And you know what? Frustrating, yes. Annoying, yes. End of the world? No. What I learned about being a better spouse was, you know what? Guess what? I have a lot of room for improvement, and the most important people in my life are my kids and my wife and my family. That's the important stuff. And it sometimes you need that kick in the ass to realize it. Both of my kids, my biological kids, I have 4 kids. I'm lucky enough to have 2 beautiful stepkids with my wife, and I have 2 biological children. Neither of my biological children live with me anymore. Not fun. Don't like it. They're 18 and 14, and my son lives with some friends in Halifax. I understand that. Kids grow up, but it's not, I don't enjoy that. It's hard. But I also understand that I have to respect where he is, what's going on in his life, and hopefully he'll come around and be in a better headspace someday soon. And my daughter, I have a good relationship with her, I think. But you know, we had some rough periods, and some of those things are my fault. And I'm hoping to grow from that and learn from that, but she doesn't live with me anymore. So I've lost something, but at the same time, I've also gained some perspective that, you know what, don't take things for granted. COVID has taught me, and that boils down in this video, COVID has taught me not to take things for granted. My health from getting sick, my wife, my fiance then, my wife now, don't take it for granted. Take the positives and understand the great things she does for every day for our family. And then with COVID, it also taught me don't take your business for granted. Bigger isn't always better. Sometimes being happy is what's more important. I used to preach that a lot. I'll tell you, I used to preach it all the time, but now I get it better. I think I get it better. There's always a silver lining out there everywhere. There really is. And if you take that silver lining and just look at the things that could be better in your life, and try to win from the silver linings out there, you'll be overall happier and have a more fulfilled life. I feel like I'm in a better headspace and I am a better person now than I was last year at this time. You know what? And I thought it was okay last year, but you know what? I've really progressed. I still can't do the splits. Didn't make it, but you know what? That's okay too. You have comments, questions, things you want me to talk about, write them up down below. I'd love to hear from you. I don't always just make these videos because I want to hear myself talk. I make these videos because I'm hoping to touch people, help them to get more fit, share my passion with them. And you know what? Just because it's your birthday doesn't mean you should skip a workout. I came to work out today, and you know why? Because it's something I enjoy. Doing something that's good for me. Exercise, whether you love it or not, is good for you mentally and physically. So try it out, do it. I'm sure you'll be happy with it. Have yourself a great day, everybody. Don't fight the awesome.